Hello, fictional. Welcome to the Fiction Series X. Today we are gonna see, what if Gremory and Airi Hyoudou are two of the children of Issei? If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. X's POV. My name is Gremory, I'm 14 and I'm in 8th grade. I study in Kuo Academy where many extraordinary things happened. Unknown to the normal human's knowledge, devils, fallen angels and angels are also studying there and we belong to all of those kinds. I harbor deep hatred towards my father, Issei Hyoudou Gremory cause he's always out for missions for almost 20 years I think and he always make my closest sister, Airi, upset. Airi and I live in a harem where my father has many wives and children, including us. Based from Azazel, he knew us before we were born in this world and Airi was being the second of the eldest. He was in great shock that time that I was 10 months older than her. Guess the future changed. Anyways, the eldest among us is the one and only Kurenai Himejima who is 17 and now in senior high school. He is fond of researching different things and he is acting like Azazel. By the way, he's Antakeno's son. The second one is Ernestine Karnstein, also 17 and the daughter of our vampiric mother, Ulmenhold Karnstein. She's very serious in so many things. She was trained by Uncle Gasper, but I don't like her. The third child is our brat brother, Mordred Hyoudou, who is also angry with dad. His age is 16 and the son of Lefay Hyoudou. I admit that he's a magic expert, but he is more annoying than Ernestine and Kurenai. The fourth is Helmwich, the daughter of Roswius whose age is also 16. She has a bad habit of cutting classes because of her magic training and let my sister Airi do her homeworks. The fifth is Zen Korda, son of Zenobia Korda and my most stubborn sibling. He is 15 and always gets along with Shin and Airi. The next is Shin Hyoudou, the son of Irina Hyoudou who has mysterious wings, but he stays joyful like his mother. He also gets along with Airi and Zen as they are known as the New Church Trio. You probably know me as the seventh and son of Ria's Gremory, so I will introduce Airi. Airi Hyoudou is the daughter of Asia Hyoudou. She is also 14, but like I say, I'm 10 months older than her. There is something different from her. Based from Azazel, she was very energetic and brave in the alternate future, but here, she is an introvert. She avoid in so many contact with people, also with our other siblings. She only talks to me, Robertina and our friend, Claude Kiba. She is very kind and accepts everyone. I'm very worried about her because she's been tortured mentally in our school, for she's smart in almost everything, except in mathematics because she has a hard time dealing with it. She always cries in our room, but she always kept smiling. She is my roommate so I always know what's going on with her. The next one is Robertina Hyoudou, the daughter of Ravel Hyoudou whose age is 13. She is less serious than Ernestine and also a part of a cheer club in our school. Shirayuki, daughter of Kaneko, and Kurabara, daughter of Kuroka, are both age 12 and they are Nekomata sisters at the same time, cousins. Airi's POV. Azazel said to me earlier that my alternate self was very different from me. He said that my alternate self was energetic, scary, and brave. Whoa. I just can't really believe that my alternate self was like that. I wish I could but I can't, I just have a low self-esteem. I came out of our door and saw X, my older brother, holding a small trombone that sounds really loud. Oh no, he's going to prank Kurenai again. Before he'll blow in it, I tried my best to run to him and jump over him, X no. I shouted as we fell flat on the floor. I grabbed the trombone immediately and threw it somewhere. Airi hi he greeted as he let out a nervous smile. How many times do I have to tell you that you have to limit when it comes to prank right? I scolded at him as we walked through the hallways, yeah, but he's really annoying you know. He's acting like Azazel. I laugh a bit about what he said, want to race down? I realize that we are near the staircase. X always let himself slide down the handle of the staircase, no thank you X. I'll take some steps, I said for I fell down while sliding on the handle when I was an 8-year-old. I know it's pretty silly, but it's true. X let himself slide down to the handle of the staircase, while I only stepped down. As I reached the last step, X is already at the kitchen, probably talking to mom about breakfast. I smiled to myself and go inside the kitchen. There, I saw X and our younger sister, Robertina, or should I say Tina because that's her nickname, morning, Airi. My mother, Asia, greeted me with a benevolent smile, morning, too, mom. I greeted back. I saw that you stopped X again from annoying Kurenai, Tina said, you know, Tina, just don't imitate our brother's attitude when it comes to joking for it makes nonsense fights. Right, X. Airi said as X put himself behind Asia's back, you're afraid of Airi, even though you are older than her. Mom asked him, Auntie Asia, Airi is very scary, you know. She always stopped me from my plans to prank Kurenai, X said, oh so my big old brother is afraid to my very kind sister, Tina teased as both of them heavily teased each other. I kinda smile at them, seeing my siblings enjoy their time together makes my heart shine for they are happy. Alright you three, you must eat your breakfast or you'll be late for school, said mom, and all of us eat our breakfast which is our favorite, her special pancakes with berries on top. When we finished our breakfast, we all bid goodbyes to her and go out to our home. Dina's separated from us for she has a group of friends waiting for her. X and I always go to school together, hang out together and study together. He is like my protector and we also have two other friends. Their names are Draco Vladi, our nerdy best friend and loves mathematics. Unknown to others, he is a damper, a half-vampire and half-human creature. And the last one is Claude Kiba, my childhood best friend and also my playmate. As we grow older, we grow distant, but still, we are friends, but not as close as before. He was a half-devil and a member of fencing club. I developed romantic feelings for him, but he doesn't know about it though. X's Pav. Took you so long, Hyoudou siblings. Said Draco as he approached towards us. He usually wears his eyeglasses and wearing his blazer with a bow tie. Yeah, it's a bow tie that was clipped on his collar. What's up, nerd dude? I said chuckling as I pat him heavily on his shoulder and he easily gives me a punch on my shoulder. That's what I call payback. Draco exclaimed and we both laughing at each other. Okay. So can we go inside the school now? We're getting late, you know, Airi said as she crossed her arms. Alright. Come on smarty pants. The three of us entered the school. The bell rings everywhere and it sounds really annoying. I really hate studying and I love spending my time playing video games, eating chips, and reading comic books. Well, I'm not like Airi who spends her time reading and studying all day at the backyard or in our room. I'm going now. Bye X. Bye Draco. Airi bid, so is it true that Airi is being bullied by her classmates? I mean she's smart. But don't you see that your sister is an introvert? Said Draco, I know that. I care deeply for her because she's also my best friend not just a sister, I said, well, you better watch her, dude for there are lots of bullies here who could hurt her by words or even physically, Draco said. I'm sure that I want to protect my sister, I'm not saying she's weak, but she's too kind to accept everyone, like mommy Asia. X, you alright? Draco asked and I snapped out from my thoughts, yeah. Of course I'm alright. I reassured. As always, I never listen to my teacher's leisure. I'm just sitting in the corner, looking outside as the sun shines brightly. Can you answer my question, Mr. Gremory? I looked at my side and wah. It's our teacher. I forgot that our subject is science and I'm not really good at it. What am I going to do now? Oh. I could just let myself jump out of the window and voila. But the teacher will call either Airi or Kurenai. Damn. I'm really dead. Can you repeat the question please? I asked nervously. Alright. What is the constellation with the shape of a swan? She asked. That's an easy question, Mr. Gremory. I believe you had listened to my leisure, she said. Oh no. This is simple because we tackled this in our primary levels. Yes, thanks to video games, and I forgot our past lessons. Aquarius. I answered, wrong. You are not listening again. She shouted and I automatically went outside. You got kicked out from your classroom because you didn't answer your teacher's simple question, Airi exclaimed as we walked home. 4 hours had passed and school's over, so what's the question? Airi asked, well, what is the constellation with the shape of a swan, and I answered Aquarius, I said. Airi gives me a shocking look and slapped me on my shoulder, you nuts. The answer is Cygnus. Hahaha, she laughed. I can see that she showed a great smile, but behind her smile is a sad moment. I noticed that her face is red like she got slapped. What happened to your face? Oh. This is nothing. She said, you've been bullied again. Why you didn't tell me? Look, as your older brother, I want to protect you. I said, X, I know but I don't want you in my troubles, and I'm alright. You see, those smiles have hidden meaning. Who did that? I asked, Amy and Gretchen. They always hurt me by words, but for today they slapped me, she replied, please don't tell this to mom, and also to dad if he ever comes home, she said, he'll never. Why do they hate you? Because they said that I'm an introvert and introverts do not belong in this world. She said tearfully. I held her hand and said, don't worry, I swear that I'll kick their butts if they do that again, I said, and she smiled. Azazel said that in alternate future, I was older than you, she said, well, I'm older than you. And we go home. Airi's Pav. When we got home, we were greeted by our mother, Ria's Gremory. Hi, mommy Ria's. I greeted, hey mom. X greeted with less energy, it's been a long time since I saw you too, she said, and X quickly interrupted, wait. You only left a week ago. What's wrong with that? X said, oh come on. After the long greetings, X and I go to our bedroom. Actually, we shared the same bedroom in separate beds, not double deck. As we enter the room, there are piles of paperworks from our older sister, Helmwich as she's always busy from her training in magic like mommy Roswius. Are you still going to finish it? X asked and I nodded, oh come on. That's Helmwig's works and she should do it on her own. X said, Helmwig is still our older sister and I want to help her, I defended. Still, you're stressing yourself from Helmwig's works and you got your own works too. Am I right? Before I could speak, my familiar, Lily jumped from my side. That makes me fall. Hi Lily. How are you? Lily is my familiar who is a sprite dragon similar to my mom's who is Issei. X and I found Lily on a nearby forest and we adopted her, only she hated X a little bit. What are you going to do now, Airi? X asked. Well, I'm just going to stay up all night so that I could finish my works, said I. Alright. I'm going to Helmwig and return her works to her, said X, and I was a bit threatened. Are you nuts? No, I'm going to slap this on her face. He picks up Helmwig's work and bring it to her room. I don't know if he's an idiot or we haven't changed into our casual wears. X. Wait up. I said as I tried to catch up. X's pav. I knock at Helmwig's door desperately so that I could return these things to her. Helmwig. Open this door. Oh no. The one who opened the door is none other than our vampire sister, Ernestine. Would you just shut up, X? What do you want? Ernestine shouted. Why are you looking for me? Helmwig asked as she looked at her works. Why do you my homeworks? Are they finished? She asked and I dropped he works. Don't make Airi do your homeworks and no buts. I said and Airi arrived. X, she whispered, and I pull her into our room. She chuckled and said, that's awesome. Thanks. She thanked me. Ria's pav. Okay, so how long are you going to stay there? I was contacting our husband, Issei, from his trip. The children miss you so much, especially Airi. I continued. X still hated you, but I think he misses you, too. Take care, bye. I ended the call. Draco's pav. Dad. I bid goodbye to him. Before I go to school, I rush to X's and Airi's home because there's a very bad news about our school. I push the button of doorbell and I didn't expect this. It's Robertina. She opens the door and wow, she's very beautiful. Her pigtails and her eyes are pretty amazing. Hi Draco. What brings you here so early? She asked in a sweet tone. Oh. I need to tell X and Airi about something in our school and they need to know this, I said. Well then, here they are. Perfect. Now they are rushing again. Hey, man. What brings you so early? X greeted. Well, there is an emergency in our school and I think you three could help. What do you mean? Airi asked. We need to get going, I said and walked away. What? There are deaths in our schools and many of the students gone insane. Airi asked in shock as we continue to walk. Yes. Our teachers claimed that vampires did those, but I found something interesting, I said, and showed them the picture of a black feather. Is that a feather of a fallen angel? Airi whispered and I nodded. We just need to be careful, X said. Third person's pav. 8 hours had passed and the school is over. Gasper went to school to pick up his son, Draco, and as usual, X and Airi go home together. Airi looked naive and her eyes are wide as she stare at the road. X become concerned and talked to her sister. You alright? He asked. I'm not okay, I can't believe that there are still evil exorcists. They are not faithful to God, Airi said. Airi is a follower of God and whenever she prays, she never got headaches for her father requested to Michael to let her pray like her mother, Asia. When X is going to talk, Airi suddenly stopped and point her index finger in front. X look in there, he found two figures looking at them. The first figure is female with long brown hair donned in ponytail, she wears revealing clothes with a bloody sword on her hand and has black wings. The second figure is a young man who wore a maroon cloak and he had tan skin. Airi and X step backward as the two figures take a step forward. Kill them. The two shouted. X and Airi run as fast as they could. Those persons are speedrunners, don't look back, Airi. Keep running. The two keep running when suddenly, the fallen angel showed in front of them. Say goodbye. AHHH. Airi screamed as the fallen grabbed her, but the fallen let go as Airi's arm glowed, a sacred gear. The fallen exclaimed. As X's prepare for the fight, a vehicle hit the fallen angel, on the car, now. It's Kurenai who shouted. Airi and X immediately went to the car, and Zenobia is the driver. Mommy Zenobia, Airi exclaimed, we better get going, and Zenobia drive away. Kurenai's pav. As I'm heading home, I noticed X and Airi walking together. Geez. Do they always walk? I tried to follow them until Mommy Zenobia saw me. Hey Kurenai, she called me, wanna ride? She offered then I got into the car. So how's your school today? Are you doing great? She asked. Yes, but there are tragedies in our school, I said. Tragedies? What do you mean? Let's just say that fallen angels started to spook our school, I said. Fallen angels? I thought we beat them when we were at your same age, she chuckled. As she drives, I saw a glimpse of a bird. No, it's a fallen angel, and it headed towards X and Airi. Mom, we need to rescue X and Airi. I saw a fallen angel just this time. I said and I can see into her face that she's ready in action, right. I think I need to kick her butt. She said in a cool way then speed up. As she drives, I saw a glimpse of two teenagers running, and that's X and Airi, there they are. I said, and the fallen angel grabbed Airi. The fallen angel stepped back and we had a chance to hit her, here we go. Then bang. She successfully hit the angel. I opened the window and shouted, on the car now. And both of them got in, are you guys alright? Mommy Zenobia asked as she kept driving, we're alright. Those are fallen angel and exorcist. How could that happen? X asked, I guess the rumors are real. Those deaths in our school were caused by them. Airi whispered, don't worry, you're all safe now, Mommy Zenobia reassured. Airi's pav. After that night, I've got very scared for the fallen angel looked like a ghost or maybe a ghoul. Plus, I can't use my magic since I am not still trained of how to use it. But the point is, my sacred gear glowed that made the fallen move back. Well, I guess it was just a coincidence. I'm currently at school, getting my mathematics book inside my locker. As I close it, the faces of bullies surprised me, hello, introvert. Amy said. She's with Gretchen again and I have no idea what I've done to them again. As X told me, I walk away from them and ignore them. But, I thought I could escape when Gretchen pulled my hair, ignoring us, huh? Let's see what you got. Amy said as she went in front of me and slapped my cheeks. I cried out, tears started to drift on my face as she continued to slap me. Then, they pushed me on the floor, making my head hit on the porcelain tiles. I got mentally blocked as I don't know what to do. We need to teach her a lesson. But what should we do to this weirdo? I heard Amy ask sadistically, oh. How about we kick her so hard so that she will win so many bruises? That'll be fun. Gretchen said and they started kicking me. This time, I cried very loud for they are kicking me so hard. My limbs, my body, are aching so much. Stop that, a boy shouted at them and pushed them on the floor violently clawed. What the heck? Amy exclaimed, oh, come on, Amy. They are just weirdos. Gretchen said and the two walk away. After that, I lose consciousness. Claude's pav. I'm Claude Kiba, 14 years old and the son of Hyoudou Kiba and Tsubaki. Airi and I were best friends since our childhood, but we grow in distance and I never really chat or talk to her because we moved in different place. Finally on my second year in high school, Dad transferred me here in Kuo Academy and I met X and Draco again. Airi really changed as I observed. She is timid, sometimes a loner and shy, although she is still kind. I didn't know what's going on until this day, I heard a cry coming from the locker and the place is quiet. I searched for the voice until I saw Airi, she's been like this. I didn't think twice and immediately pushed the two girls violently on the floor, Claude, what the heck? She knows me. I looked and noticed it's Amy Farland and the other one is Gretchen Lee, oh, come on, Amy. They're just weirdos. Gretchen said and the two walked away without saying sorry. I immediately carry Airi in bridal style because she's unconscious and bring her to the clinic. I think 1 hour had passed, Airi is still unconscious, nurse, is she really alright? Why isn't she awake yet? I asked worriedly, don't worry, she'll be okay any moments from now. Her bruises are very serious. I hope the ointment that I used to her earlier will affect, the nurse said, and I nodded. Claude. What happened? I called X and Draco earlier so that they could see Airi's condition. X immediately run to Airi and he seems to be very worried, how did this happen to her? He asked, X, do you have an idea about her here in school? She's been bullied. Don't you know about that? I said, who did this to her? He asked angrily, X, calm down, Draco said, well X shrugged, how could I calm down? I promised to her that I'll protect her and now, this happened to her this is all my fault. He said. I pat his shoulder and said, this is not your fault, X. I said. We noticed that Airi is slowly opening her eyes. X hold her hand, sighing in relief because his sister is okay, X. She mumbled, are you alright? Who did this to you? X asked, doesn't ma matter now, she said in a low voice, hello Mrs. Hyoudou. Oh, we are technically in the clinic now. About that, Airi is in the clinic, she dealt with bullies. Okay, bye. Oh, Draco. He called their mother. X's pav. After 5 minutes, Mommy Asia rushed into the clinic and she is really worried, Airi. Oh no, who did this to you? She asked as tears started to drift on her face, hugging Airi. Airi on the other hand is crying, Mom, I don't want any commotions. I want to go home, she said. The nurse discharged her imperfectly, it's our out. Claude, thank you for defending and saving my sister, I thanked him, no problem, he replied and walked on the other way. As far as I know, Kiba is really interested in helping, especially Airi. Another worse day again. X's pav. Airi, are you really sure that you don't want to report them? I asked my sister. This time, we are heading to school with Claude and Draco, I'm okay, X. You don't need to worry about me. She said cheerfully. Draco is checking his smartphone until he let out a loud gasp, guys. Did you heard about this news? Another student found dead on the science laboratory at the second building in Kuo Academy. Bloody message was found written on the porcelain floor with another black feather. He read. Another death again in our school again. This is weird. First, we were chased by a fallen angel and an exorcist, and now this. The truth is, my sisters, Airi and Tino are afraid to go to our classrooms and they want to cut classes. Thought that true. Maybe it's a hoax, right? Airi asked, shivering. No, Airi, this news is from the school paper, Claude said as he read in Draco's phone. As we walk, Airi noticed our surroundings. Some plants suddenly got dried, the air is cold, and the sky turned gray in color. I have a bad feeling about this, guys. Airi said, the nature is telling me that a threat is going to happen right now. She said. She turned around, so as we and I finally found you too. The fallen angel. It's you. Airi exclaimed, you made us wandered around this town and we are very lucky that we finally found you too with 2 extras. The fallen angel said happily with a sadistic smile on her face. The angel have brown hair with silver linings and only wearing a black 2-piece swimsuit like clothes and a brown high-heeled boots. You're all going to freeze. The angel stopped and we looked at Draco, who froze the time. He inherited this from his father, Gasper, the mentor of Ernestine. This spell is going to last until 5 minutes. We need to run. The 4 of us immediately run for our lives. I still haven't mastered it properly, so it only lasts for 5 minutes. Draco said while running. The 4 of us continued to run without looking back until we bumped into the 4 men in maroon hooded cloaks. We quickly get up as I recognize them, the evil exorcists. We're doomed. Airi exclaimed. Airi and I are immune to holy objects, but what about Claude and Draco? Plants in our surroundings, hear my words with feelings, help us to escape from these scheming exorcists. I heard Airi chanted, and some vines grabbed those exorcists. We better keep running. She said, and we did as she said. So, fallen angels. Draco exclaimed, sword birth. Holy eraser. What? He had his own sacred gear, and it's the same as his father's. He attacked the other fallen angel with his sword. Look out. Airi exclaimed and used her nature magic. She let her opponent fly away when she used leaves as tornado. I don't know if I could do this. Hello, kid. A husky voice surprised me. Behind me is the exorcist we met earlier. Because of adrenaline, I suddenly used power of destruction. Power of destruction. I chanted loudly towards him. Using it, black and crimson aura surrounded my whole body and shot them all with bullets. He's too strong. We need to move out. Claude's pav. Damn it. That angel is very fast. My attacks are useless for she always avoided so fast. Give up. She asked as I continued to attack. There's no way I would give up. I exclaimed as I continued to attack her when another falling angel sent off flying like she's been attacked by someone. I turned around to see Airi used it and her eyes are glowing green. Finally, I managed to slice the angel's first wing and fell onto the ground. Looks like you're the one who give up, I mumbled. I realized that I used my demon wings again. My eyes widened as I saw X, surrounded by black and crimson aura, as he shoots numerous of bullets that made those exorcists ran away in fright, and also the other fallen angels flew away. From what I saw. X is also shocked as he looked at his hands in surprise. Airi's pav. Is this really him? I couldn't believe that X is very powerful. He's like Mommy Ria's. I run to him and immediately ask if he's okay. I can't believe it. He can use so much amount of magic. He is really a prince of Gremory clan. Draco exclaimed. I can tell that he was amazed at X's ability. Way to go, X. Draco said, but as I observed, X slowly lost his balance and fell onto the ground. X. I rushed by his side and he also lose his consciousness. X. X, wake up. X. I tried to wake him up but it's no use. Actually, not only him used a magic, so is I. How did I do that? Eventually, a tall figure suddenly showed up and revealed to be Kurenai. Airi, what happened? He rushed to us and quickly carried X, teleportation lightning. He chanted. A mixed blue with yellow magic seal appeared under us and the 5 of us were teleported somewhere. As I opened my eyes, I found that this place is familiar, so we're in Gregory Institute, Claude said. Azazel. I need your help. Kurenai called the former advisor of Orc and he's right in front of us. Kurenai. What happened to him? He also rushed to X and laid him down the couch. Looks like he's exhausted from using many amount of magic. He knew. He is really intelligent when it comes in supernatural things. Airi, put your palms on his chest and let your nature energy flows into him, Kurenai ordered and I immediately agreed. As I put my palms, green light started to appear and it seems to heal X's exhausted body. Airi, can you explain what happened out there? Kurenai ordered. I sighed and immediately tell him the truth. Alright, while on our way to school, the nature seemed to change and suddenly, exorcists and fallen angels attacked us. I said, maybe they are those wicked fallens who killed several students, mainly Catholics in our school. About that, what did they want from you for? Kurenai asked, we don't know, we're just walking, and then it happened, after I transferred enough energy to X. Kurenai talked to us about these angels. Kurenai, you cut classes every day. I asked, of course not, I only have 4 subjects to attend every day, and I also have a job here in Gregory Institute, he said, Kurenai, right. Can I interview you today only for the school paper? Reiko asked him and we looked at him with annoyance, you're part of the Kuo Academy's journalism club. Well, it's a no. Kurenai said. X's POV. Ouch. My head ached as I opened my eyes from unconsciousness, rise and shine, boy. Whoa. I moved back from where I lying as I saw the old man Azazel by my side, where am I? What am I doing here? I asked, well, you got exhausted from using too much magic while fighting some Follens and exorcists, he said. X. Airi came running and hugged me, I was so worried. Thank goodness you're okay. She exclaimed, sir, Kuo Town is in danger. What shall we do to protect people who lives here? Kurenai asked, well, we need to rebuild your mother's former club, Occult Research Club, in order to protect the town, Azazel suggested. Are my ears right from what I heard? Occult Research Club. If I'm mistaken, isn't it the club that's responsible for hunting down stray devils? That'll be awesome. I exclaimed, so we are reviving it. We need to have at least 15 members I think, but we only have 5 members including me, Kurenai said, but we still didn't know how to use our magic properly. Airi explained, I think I can help you with that. We turned our heads and saw that Claude's father is here, Dad. Is it okay if I train you 5 to become a skilled practitioner in battle and magic? Also, we need to fix the former base of our club, Uncle Hyoudou said. My eyes lit up for it is my long-time dream to be an orc, are you sure about that, Uncle Hyoudou? Kurenai asked, it's okay, who's in? Me. I exclaimed, I should join too, Airi said, me either. Draco said, so is I, Claude said, Kurenai, how about you? Hyoudou asked, no thanks, I have many jobs here at Gregory, but I promise that I'll support you guys. Looks like the new orc is born this day. Where are you going you 3? Robertina wondered as Airi and I went downstairs, going outside our home, we have a group project with Draco and Claude, Airi said, in Saturday. Are you serious? Tina asked, it's a big yes. I shouted and the 2 of us rushed to the old base of orc, ouch. This place sucks. It's like we're traveling inside a forest. I said, but we're in the forest. Oh look. I can see the tower. We run to the direction where Airi had sat and there, we found an old school with a tower, and there, Claude, Draco and Uncle Hyoudou are already there, you guys are here already? Sure, let's get started. We made many fixations inside and outside. We also painted the orc until it'll become as good as new. After 3 hours of restoring, we're finished. By tomorrow, we're going to vote for president. This year is going to be fun, I guess. X's POV. We are currently working in Occult Research Club, trying to find any clues about the stray devils. Claude, have you seen Airi? I asked him only to see him with sunburns. Hey, what happened to you? I asked, you didn't tell me that Airi owns a sprite dragon. She uses lightning breath on me, as if she's jealous to someone. You mean Lily is here? Okay, where are they? At the garden where Airi is growing plants, he pointed outside. There, I see her using a nature magic while growing some herbs, plants, and her favorite, flowers. Oh. You scared me. She exclaimed, wow, it's beautiful here, I said, and she smiled, well, by planting flowers and plants, I could enhance my nature magic. I also seek to Mom Roswis for magic training and weekends, she said, I can see that you're becoming like Helmwich, no way. You should train too. Azazel said that you have the potential to become an ace or a swordsman. She said. She's right, the old man told me that my alternate self was an ace and the strongest swordsman of Gremory clan. I need to fulfill it for me to be able to show my father that I'm not worthless or useless like him. Don't worry. I'll make sure that I'll train so hard to protect you and our family, I said, why thank you X. But remember, you also need to find a girl or a woman someday that you will love truly and devote your loyalty to her, she said, while carrying a plant box with a chrysanthemum flower on it. Bro, you can do it, and I believe in you. She said and I smiled. Suddenly, I felt a bad aura behind me, as if an angry face is glaring me, tell me that Lily is going to shoot me with her lightning breath. I wondered and again, I'm right, Lily, no. Airi stopped, but she already shot me and I fell onto the ground. Curse you Lily. Lily. Don't do that again. X, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay, as usual. Third person's POV. 2 o'clock in the midnight, a blue mist started to cover the area as a person is running from exorcists. The person hides itself from somewhere as it covered its mouth. Come out, princess. The exorcist shouted. Once they moved forward, large waves started to surprise them, and the person escaped from them. Other exorcists caught it, but it only turned itself into a water and flows through the sewer. The person removed its cloak, revealing a young girl as she continued to run. Airi's pav. Blue mist started appearing in midnight. Draco, was that even real? Claude asked as we're arranging things inside the base. This is real, guys. Newspapers don't tell lies like some videos in DeviTube. Draco said, blue mist. Must be a water spirit, I said while I put some books on the shelf. Water spirit. Are they even real? X questioned. X, if us devils exist, water spirits exist too, I defended. Based on my readings, water spirits are guardians of lakes, seas, rivers or even large oceans. They exist in the form of mermaids, fays, or even a white lady. Hey look. I found a footage that will prove Airi's statements, Draco said. He played the video on his phone, probably a CCTV footage. A mist started to appear when a person had been chased and exorcists them again. As we continued to watch, large waves started to form and attack those exorcists. After that, it's gone. Wow. It must be a water magic practitioner. X said, even exorcists killed practitioners. What do they want from them? Draco asked, maybe our magic. I think they after us because of our magic, Uncle Hyoudou said, so what will we do? Claude asked as I continued to listen to their suggestions until X said, that's easy. We go out in midnight and catch the water person. Is he alright? Well, he has a point, for we can also protect that person. Maybe it's innocent from any crimes. You have a point, but we need to wait until midnight. I can get easily into sleep, Draco said, but vampires like you supposed to be active at nighttime? Said X jokingly. Excuse me, Mr. Gremory. I'm not a vampire. I'm a damper, which is a half human and half vampire. The truth is, I'm only fourth vampire because my father, Gasper, is a damper and my mother is a human. Draco explained. Now I know, nerd. X teased. In Draco's range, he freezes X's body, but X is ugly when Draco freezes him. Claude took a picture of him and we all laugh. This is epic, dude. Said Claude laughing. Serves him right. Said Draco smirking. Alright. You guys stop it. Hyoudou pleased. Our decision is final. We are going to capture the water spirit this midnight. X's pav. Where are you two going? It's 6 p.m. and you are completely packed. Yikes. Zen saw us. We are actually going to stay at the base for us to be able to be up in midnight. Why do you care, Zen? I asked. Well, we have our group project that we need to work on overnight and we are going to stay at Draco's home, Airi interrupted. Yes, she saved the day again. Zen nodded and the two of us go away. Here we are. Claude said. We are wandering around the town for hours until the mist comes out, finally. I exclaimed, but something water flows through the car. Help. Is that a voice of a girl? I see that she's been chased by those exorcists and she looked at me. Tears are drifting on her face as she continued to run. My heart beats faster and immediately get out of Uncle Hyudou's car. X. I heard Airi called me and followed me, is that it? She asked. Yes, and she's a girl. She's crying and calling for help. I said, then we need to help her. She exclaimed. We run as fast as we could until we saw them. Hey. I shouted. You guys again. Will you just stop buzzing around? Hey look. The Scarlet Freak and the Leaf Girl again. One of them said, I'm not a freak, you suckers. I shouted at them, freeze. Draco from behind chanted and they froze. I immediately grabbed the girl's hand while Airi casted a spell, Vine Trap. She whispered and vines started to crawl and grab the feet of the exorcists. Thank you for saving me from those people. They could have been kill me if you didn't arrive, the girl said. No problem with that, Ms. Airi said. The girl's has dark blue hair with green highlights. She wore pearl hair clip, similar to Airi's, only it's flower. She wore blue dress and a white sandals as if she's a princess. Ms., what is your name? Airi asked. My name is Hiro Saji. I'm the daughter of Sona Sitri and Genshiro Saji. I have a complicated relationship towards them, for they always dictate of what I will and I can't do things on my own. Because of anger, I ran away from them, she explained. Where did you came from? Airi asked. From Tokyo. I lived in an apartment, studying as an 8th grade student in Kuo Academy, she said. So it means we're all students of Kuo Academy here? Draco asked laughing. Wow. I didn't know that you guys are my schoolmates. Can I join this group? This seems awesome, she said again. She seems very cheerful. Well, this is Occult Research Club, the club for hunting stray devils, Airi explained. What are you, by the way? I'm a devil, but exorcists considered me as water demon, so I decided to call myself a water demon, she explained. Well, Ms. Sanji, we're going to work on your membership tomorrow, said Uncle Hyoudou. We have another member to join the club and I think the more, the merrier. Third person's pav. Congratulations, Hiro. You're one of us now. Said Airi as she confirmed that Hiro that she's in. Hiro on the other hand, is very happy for she is now a part of a club. Oh my gosh. Is this for real? I can't believe it. Said Hiro as she shake X who is by his side. Oh, I'm sorry. She said and let go of him. We are fewer than I thought, Draco sighed as he said those statements. He's right, there are only 5 members of the new Occult Research Club, and they also need to train their magic in order to fight those exorcists and fallen angels. May I ask you something? Asked Airi to Hiro as she walked closer to her. What kind of magic do you use? I'm a water-based devil. I used hydrokinesis and water magic which I inherited from my mother, she said cheerfully. What about you? Well, I only used nature magic or what we knew as nature manipulation. Also, Azazel confirmed that I am a dragon tamer as I tamed a sprite dragon, Airi said. You owned a sprite dragon? As Hiro asked that, Lily immediately showed up. Lily. This is Lily, she's a sprite dragon, and also my companion. Lily showed her kind attitude towards Hiro as she let her touch her. How adorable. Don't you have any troubles in taking care of her? No, taking care of a dragon is really fun. Also, you have another best friend who is kind to you, Airi said cheerfully as she caressed the dragon's head. Excuse us. That dragon is a trouble for it always electrified us. X demanded. I agree with him. Claude said. In range, Lily let out a lightning breath, electrifying the two. Airi and Hiro laughed because of it. Hiro looked at one picture on the shelf. It shows the picture of young Airi and X with a mysterious man. Who is the man with you two in the picture? Hiro asked pointing at the picture. Oh. That's Issei Hyoudou, our father. We really miss him so much for we haven't seen each other for about 9 years, said Airi. That long? Wow, I see that you didn't harbor any hatred towards him. Why would I? He is our father, explained Airi as she went outside and Hiro followed her, but I'm worried about X. He shared a complicated relationship with Dad, she continued. X and I has the same father but born with different mother. Wait, what? Are you broken families? No, we belong to a harem where our father has so many wives, Airi said laughing. No way. My mother will slap your father if he's her husband. The two girls laughed as they kept talking about Issei. So X is only your half-brother? Airi nodded. But I treat him as my full brother, said Airi. Really? You're coming home tonight? Asia cheered as she talked to Issei on the phone. Airi and X is currently at the house listening to Asia with their younger sisters. Wow. I can't believe that we're finally going to see Daddy again. Kurabara cheered. Really? Oh my, I didn't know what am I going to do? Shirayuki said. Mom, is that even true? Airi asked as Asia nodded. I'm going upstairs, X said, and Airi followed him into their room. Are you excited? Airi asked as she closed the door. She is wearing a mint green sleeveless collared shirt with white shorts and green flat sandals. X is wearing a normal red t-shirt with denim shorts and black sandals. His red bangs covered his blue eyes while he's lying down on his bed. Hey, are you okay? Airi asked. Yes, I'm alright. I just do not feel comfortable whenever he is around, X replied. Wow. Me either, X. I always get flustered whenever he's here, you know, like when I slip down on the floor while avoiding him. X laughed at the point where her clumsy sister is laughing about that. 30 minutes later, someone knocked at the siblings' door. Coming. X called. As he pointed, his face crunched as he saw Mordred's face. X, I bang. X slammed the door shut. X. Airi exclaimed, I command you to open this door. Mordred said outside. X rolled his eyes and opened the door. What do you want, Merlin freak? I'm not Merlin and my name is Mordred. By the way, Dad is here, he said and walked away. Dad is here? Airi whispered. Yes. Now, Airi is surely anxious, her wheels on her head is turning again as she stood up. She didn't know if she's gonna go outside or stay inside. X. I'm pretty nervous. What are we going to do? She asked. Let's peek what's going on. The two peeked from the staircase. Whoa. It's really Dad, Airi whispered as they saw Issei. Shirayuki and Kurabara are talking to their father about their adventures for their last year in primary level. Airi and X are watching until Robertina interrupted them from behind. What are you two doing here? Erg. X and Airi shouted as they lose their balance and fell. Ouch. Airi said. It's quite embarrassing for their other siblings saw them. Score. Serves you right. Shin exclaimed, raising his arms. Thanks Tina. X exclaimed angrily as he stood up. Hi, Dad. Airi greeted. Airi. X. Is that you? Issei asked as the two of them approached him. Obviously, yes. Don't you see it? X said bitterly. You really look like your mother, Issei said to X. Airi only sit on the couch, watching the two, smiling. Hey. Are you okay? Helmwich asked as she sat with Airi. Yeah. I'm totally fine. Airi said cheerfully. There are many hidden meanings behind Airi's smile, and X knew that. Are you sure? Dad is here, you should be happy. I'm glad that he's here, but I don't understand my feelings today. As if the nature is whispering to my ears, Airi replied as tears started to drift on her face. Now why are you crying? Helmwich pointed at her eyes. Airi touches her cheek and was shocked to see it. Oh my gosh. Excuse me for a second. Airi said as she came back upstairs. X, I don't know how to talk to him. I want to but I can't. Airi said while the two of them are walking home from school. Maybe I can argue with him, no arguments. Now, I know the feeling, if you're hiding your true feelings, Airi said, and the two of them entered their home. Hey X. Would you like to play this fun game? This would be awesome, Shin said. While not looking, X said coldly, maybe later, and they went upstairs. What's with them? They seem tired, Issei said as watching the two go into the room. You know what, Dad, there is something you need to know about them, Robertina said as she closed her book about princes and princesses. What about them? We'll talk about Airi first. We know Airi is a kind girl, a bookworm, and a nature lover. But, when she turned into a teenager, her life changed, Robertina continued. Everyone laughed at her, hated her and most especially, bullied her until now. Because of her intelligence, she was bickered and bullied mentally or physically. She was considered as an introvert for she always preferred of being alone or with her few friends, and she's very shy. Behind her smiles have hidden meanings, Issei's jaw dropped as he heard Robertina's statements. He knew Airi is a strong and upbeat girl, but now she's different. For X, he is still the same, only he harbored deep hatred towards you. He is disgusted whenever he thinks that he belongs to a harem and that his father has many wives. He is also upset for you, making Airi cry. X also get into guidance for he always getting into a fight or he always cut classes. Despite their opposite personalities, the two of them are very close to each other, Tina finished. Issei's face becomes serious as he look upstairs. I'll better talk to them, he said. He went to their door, but he didn't know if he's going to knock or not. Come on, Issei. They're your children. You should talk to them. Knock. 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 X. Airi. Issei called, only to find out that Airi opened the door. Dad. She exclaimed, what's so surprising? Can I talk to you guys? Issei asked as Airi let him come in. Issei observed their room, it is surely large, and they own different sides. X occupied the right side while Airi occupied the left. X's side is a mess while Airi's side is clean. X is lying down on his bed, faking his sleep. X, I know you're awake, Issei told him, but he received no reply. Okay, I'll talk to you first, Airi, Issei said as he and his daughter sat on his bed. Hey, you can tell me everything. I noticed yesterday that you're crying as you went upstairs. What's the matter? Well, Airi sighed and decided to tell him. Dad, I'm always shy of showing my happiness, especially when it comes to you. In my entire life, I always felt lonely because, I don't know, maybe I always feel being left out. But I realized that I have family and friends, but I always feel weak. Airi showed a sad face, remembering the day when she's suffering in high school. But, I'm not mad at you, Dad. I love you, Issei hugged his daughter and said, I'm sorry if I'm not here by your side. He apologized. He looked at X who is still sleeping. Tell X that I'll talk to him later, Issei said. After a minute, Issei left their room. As for X, he was smiling because finally, his sister was not a sad person but a happy person. X's POV. Possession. Why do you ask about it? Airi asked as she grows some plants at the garden of the club. I am curious about it and said, well, maybe fallen angels may use this against high-class devils when it comes in battle, replied I as I scratched my head. Possession in human's body is true, and demons were always the culprit behind those. For today, I can't even say that fallen angels have the ability to possess one's body, she said, and I nodded. I noticed that her magic manipulation is becoming strong for she managed to use it properly. Lately, she started to use strong roots to restrain a thing, including humans. Using her magic, she can also grow plants, trees and flowers using her magic. You're doing great, I said as I gave her thumbs up and went away. X, look at this, Airi said as I watched some videos on DevaTube in our house. Old lady found dead inside a basement in a mall at Kuo Town, I read. Airi gave me a worried look as she showed it to me. What are you reading? AHHH. Don't scare us like that, Yuki. Airi exclaimed as Yuki suddenly appeared. I'm sorry, Nai. What are you reading? Asked Yuki. It's nothing to deal with you. I said, X, Airi. We need to go to our parents' room right now, said Zen as he appeared out of nowhere. Looks like I need to see Merlin freak again. X mumbled. X, Mordred is still our older brother. We should show respect to him, Airi scolded. Don't worry sis, I agreed with X about Mordred, said Zen. You coming, Shirayuki? Airi asked. No, I think I need to stay in my room, Yuki said, and went to her room. Third person's POV. Shirayuki went to their room. She shares it with her two other sisters, Robertina and her twin, Kurabara. Robertina is currently at the library, probably reading about knights and princesses, while Kurabara is also present at the meeting. On the other hand, Shirayuki went inside in their room, only to find an old lady sitting on their chair. Shirayuki suddenly became alert because of this, ready to leave the room. When she's facing the door, the old lady was in front of her, revealing herself to be a beautiful fallen angel. The angel has 4 wings, wearing a black one-suit clothing and a black boots. Hello dear. She said as she grabbed Shirayuki's neck. Yuki. Robertina called, but no one answered. Yuki. Suddenly, Yuki stabbed her with a knife from behind. X's pav. What? Do you think it's my fault that I become like this? I shouted while arguing with our father. Look, I'm trying to make things right. I don't want any fight, X. Said Dad, but I don't believe him. Wow. Now who's the good guy? You? This is awful. I replied in anger. Stop with that attitude, X. We didn't raise you that way. Mom Ria scolded, but I didn't listen. Stop this commotion. Alright, our children wouldn't be okay if you're shouting at them, Mom Asia said. No, Asia. X is not like this, and I didn't know that he got that attitude. Said Mom Ria's, he's probably a troublesome. I heard Helmwich said, and my range get its limit. What did you say? I said as I came to her, ready to slap her, but Mordred and Shin stopped me. You let me go, you bastards. I said, dude, calm down. It's just Helmwich. Mordred shouted when suddenly, Dad punched me, Issei. I heard Mom Ravel screamed, stop it, X. He shouted, do you really think that I will forgive you after everything you've done to us? To Airi. X, don't you dare get your sister in this argument. He said, no, I'm worried about her that she's suffering from mental erg. Forget it. Airi, come on. I noticed Airi and Bara are standing close to the door. Airi. I called, but she's still standing until a noise started to knock on the door that made them jump. Airi's pav. I'm worried about X. He's arguing with Dad for an hour. I want to stop them, but someone is calling for help outside. I thought it was just my imagination, but Kurabara heard it too, big sis. She looked at me. We both stood at the door when X called me, Airi. Suddenly, a noise banged the door. Mom. Help. Tina. I immediately opened the door, only to find out that it is really Tina who fell onto the floor with blood and wounds all over her body. Tina. I exclaimed and immediately locked the door. But still, someone is tapping the door violently. X. Place Tina over here. Mom Asia ordered and X immediately followed. Mom Asia started healing her as Mom Ravel held her hand. You're going to be okay, Mom Ravel cried. I noticed that the door is slowly opening and I used roots to lock the door. Seal. Helmwich sealed it. Thanks, I thanked her. I'll try to see who did this to her, Bara said as she touched the door and closed her eyes. Ahhh. She screamed as she went to her mother. What happened? She asked. It's Yuki. She's been possessed. Oh no, this is bad. X and I looked at each other. Tell me that the angel didn't follow you too, Kurenai said. We're doomed. I said, what? Kurenai exclaimed, we thought we've killed them. It's not our fault, okay. X said, what about those? Mom Riaz asked. X, Shin. I need your help to scare that fallen away and I'll be the bait. I said, but X grabbed my hand. Airi, no. It's my responsibility to protect my younger sisters. X, you don't need to worry for you need to catch that angel, only I have no idea about how am I going to fight her, I said worriedly. Airi, are you excited to see Shirayuki crawling on the ceiling? Asked Mordred chuckling as if he is not serious. Mordred. I exclaimed, I think I need to summon Lily. I said enchanted some word, sprite dragon Lily, I summon you in this place. A green magic circle appeared, revealing a purple small dragon. Wow. What is she doing here? Shin exclaimed. Wow, I didn't expect that Shin is afraid of her too. Good luck, sis. Said X as I went outside. I examined the place where it's full of blood and burns everywhere. I summoned a magic circle and placed it on my right ear for me to be able to contact X. X, I think Robertina used her fire magic. There are burns everywhere with blood, I whispered. Okay, Shin and I will follow you when you reach the kitchen. What about the kitchen? Bara said that Yuki is there. Oh. Okay. Now, I went to the kitchen to get a glass of water until, hi Airi. Yuki said in a creepy tone, hello. Do you messed with a food color and charcoal? There are color red and burns everywhere. A child like me should play and play. I turned around, only to see Yuki is going to stab me with a knife. I caught it and looked into her eyes which are pure black. Who are you? Leave my sister's body now. I exclaimed. She smirked and disappeared. X. She went out is. I went to the garden, only to find out that she's going to use black flames. As she attacked me, I used roots to shield me. Then we fight until my vines grabbed her body and green magic circle formed underneath. Shin. Now. I said as Shin appeared, in the name of God, I command you to leave this body and be gone. Shin blessed Yuki with a holy water. As Yuki was screaming, the spirit came out of her body, revealing to be a fallen angel, power of destruction. X chanted as crimson balls attacked the fallen, but she easily dodged it. Ha ha ha. She laughed evilly and disappeared. I removed the vines from Yuki and X had caught her. Then, I collapsed from exhaustion. Third person's pav. Are they okay, Asia? Ravel asked as Asia nodded. Kurenai, how did this happen? Do you know anything about this? Akeno asked her son as he sat with X and Airi. You didn't know. There are several deaths that had happened in Kuo town, and now, we had an idea of how they do it, X said. How did you guys ended up in this kind of situation? You could have been killed. Akeno scolded. Airi held X's hand and looked at him. We need to tell them, X, Airi said. Tell what? Akeno asked while X nodded. For the last few days, X and I along with our friends, were attacked by groups of fallen angels and evil exorcists. The exorcists tried to kill us until we used our magic inside us, which was uncontrollable. X released an enormous magic that made him unconscious. Kurenai, who was wandering around the town, saw us and brought us in Gregory Institute, said Airi, as she let Kurenai spoke. By that time, Azazel explained that fallen angels and evil exorcists were trying to exorcise them. X was very strong that time to the point that I couldn't explain his state. Then, Azazel suggested that we should revive your former club. Kurenai stopped as Akeno's eyes widened. The Occult Research Club. What have you? Oh, did Riaz knows this? Akeno asked as she put her hand on her forehead. Actually no, X said. This is bad. Why you didn't tell them? Who else knows this? Uncle Hyoudou and Azazel, said X stubbornly said, so they knew for the whole time. We didn't tell you this because we wanted you to have normal lives, and I didn't know that you, Kurenai, is working in Gregory without telling me. Akeno said, what's going on here? X will Issei was cut off. Me again? Wow, we helped you all in scaring that spirit away, and you're going to scold me. What kind of a father are you? X argued. X, enough. You don't understand, you know, Dad, I'm sick of this. I wish you weren't my father and I wish that I'm not in this harem. X said and walked away. X, wait. I'm sorry guys. X. Airi said as she followed X upstairs. When Airi arrived, she saw that X was already packing his things as if he's running away. Where are you going? Getting out of here. Are you serious? Yuki and Tina got hurt and well, I don't care. They treated me here as if I'm always the bad guy, including Dad. Wait. This is wrong, leaving your own family. What if something happens to them? What if she comes back? They have our mothers and Dad is here, X said. Wait. I'm coming with you, Airi said. Asia's pav. The next morning, I got up from our bed to check the children. Robertina and Shirayuki are seriously injured, but luckily, they survived. We let Kurabara slept in Ernestine and Helmwage's room to separate her from the two. All of them seemed fine until I came in X and Airi's room. It's open so I assumed that they're already awake, X. Airi. I called but no one answered. I finally entered the room, only to find a note on Airi's bed, we're going away. We're sick of this family. X, oh no. Issei really angered X and also Airi. Issei. Riaz. I shouted as I went to our room, what's with the commotion, Asia? Zenobia asked as I showed them the paper. X and Airi run away. Where did they go? Issei asked. I have no idea, I said. We need to find them as soon as possible, said Riaz. As all of them left, Akeno called me. Asia. Can I talk to you? Sure, why not? There's something you need to know about the two. What about them? X and Airi are now part of the new Occult Research Club. They started to rebuild it with their friends, and Kiba and Azazel knew this. She whispered, what? Why you didn't tell us? I have no choice. They are trying to train to enhance their magic. Kurenai said that X released an enormous amount of magic, so where do you think they are? At our former base, we need to get Kurenai. X's pav. Airi. I called her at the garden. When I came outside, I moved back for she'd grown so many plants, using her magic. 3 weeks had passed since we ran away from our home and decided to stay in the base. I was very disappointed at our father, he didn't even care about the sudden deaths in our town. After that, we started to investigate in churches or cemeteries for we knew that exorcists go in places like that. But still, we found nothing. It's been a while since that incident happened in our house. I never actually go to school, I trained all day with Uncle Hyoudou, while Airi, X, and Draco still go to school. For Hero, she always stayed with me or trained with me. I don't know why, but whenever she's here by my side, I always feel comfortable. Hey. So how do you do? Airi said cheerfully, well, good. I managed to control my magic. Uncle Hyoudou said that I inherited both Mom and Dad's powers, but I don't care, I said, what about you? Well, I still attend Mom Roswis's class, and she said that my magic is getting stronger that I need to learn to control it. Also, Uncle Hyoudou said that because of my clumsiness, I need to learn to defend myself not basing on my magic, she explained. X, Mom Roswis said that Mom Asia is very worried about us. You're lucky that I pleased her to not tell them about our whereabouts, she said. What about Robertina? Shirayuki. Relax, X. They are okay. Said Airi chuckling, are you thinking that I care? It's too obvious, X. Suddenly, Uncle Hyoudou came with a silver-haired man with him. The man is tall and had paled skin, gather around. This man with me is Vali Lucifer, a devil and our ally, explained Uncle Hyoudou. I know you. Mom Ria said that they had a former enemy before and now that person is their friend. Said Airi smiling, and you must be Asia's daughter, said the volley guy, so, what's with him, Uncle Hyoudou? Draco asked, he knows the source of killings, and as Issei stated to him that the new orc had been formed, he explained, the source. What about it? Hero asked, it is Loki. He controlled several of exorcists and fallen angels to kill people for his plan to take over the world, explained Volley, Loki. He's been sealed in Asgard, right? Asked Airi. He managed to undo the seal and beat several Valkyries, said Uncle Hyoudou, can we manage to defeat him? He's too strong cause he is a god, said Airi as she clenched her fist and put it on her chest, stating that she's afraid, Volley is here so he could train you 5. Airi, we trained your other siblings, mostly Zen, Shin, and Kurenai for a short time, and also Helmwich, now that explains why the 4 of them are good in wielding swords, Airi said, so what? I asked bitterly. I don't trust this Volley guy, Airi is right that this guy was their former enemy, and now he wants to train us. But I have no choice, I need to become strong to show my dad that I'm worthy, so, let's start with you, Hyoudou pointed at Hero whose eyes were widened from Uncle Hyudou's statements. So what's your magic? Volley said, water magic, I inherited it from my mother, Sona, and I have a hidden sacred gear which my dad gave me, Blaze Black Flare, said Hero, oh yeah, the Black Dragon King acts as its power source, right? Volley asked, yes, and she was cut off when Volley released a blow that made her fly away. I got carried away and shouted, Hero. I'm okay. I need to take revenge, she said as she stood up. Let's bring it on. She said as a smirk started to form on her face, water mist, suddenly, the place started to get foggy when water strike. Is that Hero? A loud splash was heard from our place, damn. I can't see. TCH, not only you, you idiot. What did you say? I was insulted by Claude's words, and I'm ready to punch him until Draco freezes us, Draco. Why did you do that? I heard Airi asked. Actually, Draco froze our body, but he didn't froze our hearings so I could still hear them, they were damn annoying. I wish I could punch them. So Draco wanted to punch us. I'll show him some moves if I get out of his spell. Airi's pav. It's fun to see that the boys are bickering at each other because of small fights. But what's going on? Hero released a water mist. I used my eyes that allowed a scene in the mist, Draco. Hero is using her sacred gear. I said in awed, wow. She's good in fighting. I wish I could be like her someday. I said. Hero is a good fighter. Her sweet personality became bold as I saw, what kind of sacred gear is she using? Asked Draco wondering, I have no idea, but I think she's using the Black Dragon King as the main power source of her gear, I said, wait a minute. Black Dragon King. Yes, Vritra, one of the 5 Dragon Kings, said I. Draco left dumb and shocked as he put his hand on his forehead. I smiled at him when the mist started to fade. As my vision got clear, I saw that Hero lose, Hero. I ran over her and see that she's okay, she's a tough fighter, said Volley smiling. I helped Hero to get up and the next in line is Draco, Draco. Yes see sir wow. That's great, Draco Vladi. Yes. Son of Gaspar Vladi who is a damper who has a human wife, which means that I'm a 4th vampire. He said very fast like he's squeaking, what's with your voice? Well, this is me when I'm nervous, he said nervously, actually, I inherited my father's power and also his sacred gear, Forbidden Baler of You, said Draco, let's see what you got, kid. Said Volley smirking until Draco used it, freeze. His eyes glowed red and Mr. Volley froze, that's easy. Said Draco happily until the effect disappeared, Draco, behind you. Hero and I pointed and Volley released a blow on him that made his body flew and hit on the tree, don't be too confident, kid. Your enemy will easily defeat you. I see that you can't use your gear properly. Maybe I can teach you, Volley said, and Draco easily accepted that, you were defeated easily. We turned around only to see that X and Claude were moving, Claude, you're in. The next is Claude who summoned his sacred gear, the blade blacksmith, Hyoudou. Your son looks like you, said Volley. As for Claude, he takes it seriously as Volley and Claude clashed their swords in the midair. I was bit worried by him because Mr. Volley is very strong, he is also a skilled swordsman, someone's in love here, X whispered, and I slapped his shoulder, blushing. After 10 minutes, they got down, revealing that Claude won, way to go Claude, said Draco happily, Kiba. Looks like you and Tsubaki trained him much. Said Mr. Volley then I realized that I'm next. Oh no. I'm next. What will I do? I don't even know how to fight. Looks like I'm going to fly in the midair. Airi Hyoudou. You're next. Shouted Mr. Volley. I got up, shaking as I go there and my mind is blank, are you ready? Technically, I'm not. I do not possess any sacred gear, but I have nature magic which Mom Roswa said that the power of twilight healing is inside me, said I nervously, what? Do you even know how to fight? Not really. I said and my clubmates became dumbfounded, here I go. he said as he released a blow, but I quickly avoided it. As he continued to use magic, I tried to shield myself using roots. He came closer and ready to punch me, but I quickly dodged it. Is this even real? Because of it, I finally managed to catch up with him. I tried to punch him often, and finally, I sent him flying in the sky. I'm totally shocked, so is them. Oh no. Mr. Volley, I'm sorry. Wow. When did you learn to fight like that, sis? Asked X, who's still shocked about what happened. Very well, Airi. I think that you can use Kai in fighting, said Uncle Hyoudou. Kai is an energy that was mainly used by martial artists, explained Uncle Hyoudou. Whoa. I thought I can only use nature manipulation and summoning magic. I said happily. Now, it's X's turn. X's Pav. So, you're Ria's and Issei's son. Another Gremory was born, I guess. Did that jerk said that I'm Issei's son? Yes, we are related by blood but far distant by soul. I don't really like him, how do you say so? You can only say that I'm Ria's son. I said, we'll see, catch. He said as he threw a sword towards me. Seriously? A sword? I can see that swordsmanship could help you in training properly, said he. If that's what he wants, I will give what he wants. Ready? As I opened my mouth, he suddenly attacked me with a sword which I shielded myself using the sword that Volley gave me. I'm not actually good in swordsmanship, but I can catch up with Volley. Volley is very fast, I can't defend myself. After that, we keep distance as he spoke. I can see that you have the potential in swordsmanship, he said, but I didn't mind it. We continued to clash our swords up in the midair. As we fight till death, a red aura started to appear in my body, and so on my sword. As Volley noticed this, we stopped. Kid, we will continue this tomorrow, said he as we got down. He walked away from me and waved. X. Are you alright? Asked Airi, which I reassured that I'm okay. Third person's Pav. Water serpent. Hero chanted as she fought against Hyoudou. 5 days had passed, and the children managed to use their magic in proper way. Hyoudou is training Hero to practice her magic. As the daughter of Sona, Hero summoned a water serpent which was used to defeat Hyoudou on their training. Hero controlled the serpent carefully as she competed against Hyoudou. As the Hyoudou defeated the serpent, Hero used her sacred gear, the blaze black flare. Dragon cuffs started to appear on her right arm. Vritra, attack that guy. Hero ordered as she used black flames against Hyoudou. Hyoudou avoided the flames, but surprised to see Hero to fight him in hand to hand. She kicked and pucked him, but Hyoudou always dodged her attacks. Unknown to him, Hero used water clone as a decoy as she's going to use water splash on him from behind. Water splash. Hyoudou was surprised as he didn't even manage to avoid her magic and he was hit from his back, falling onto the ground. He got up smiling. Very well, Hero. He said. You must hit me on the face, kid. Volley instructed Draco as they continued to fight using punch. Lately, Draco managed to freeze the whole time. The damper is determined to win against Volley. Freeze. Volley froze, and Draco took this as an opportunity to hit him. Only Volley can't move. Undo, said Draco from behind as Volley fell onto the ground. His face was completely hurt for Draco used his sacred gear, Forbidden Bailer of View. Draco turned around to Volley, smirking as he won on their battle. Claude is currently at the river, standing on the water as he focused his sword onto floating rocks as Airi used her nature magic. He opened his eyes and quickly attacked Airi's rocks. Those rocks are special for Airi used an incantation in it. He sliced the rocks one by one until they were all gone. That's nice, Claude. Said Airi as Claude looked serious at his training. Airi, can we fight each other? He asked. Airi suddenly blushed for Claude didn't ask her to fight her, so sure, why not, she said shyly. She quickly went in front of Claude as her long skirt reaches the green grass. Ready? Airi nodded. Claude ran to her place, but Airi's eyes were quick as she managed to avoid Claude's sword. She's dead if the sword will hit her. Roots. She chanted as she raised her hands towards Claude, creating a massive rope made of roots to hit him, but he's too fast. Airi used another spell called Green Light, a powerful light force which can create illusions. Claude closed his eyes and managed to use his mother's technique, the Mirror Alice, towards Airi. Fireballs started to shoot towards the young blonde, but she used Nature's Shield to protect herself from the attack. Claude and Airi is out of limit, so they used hand-to-hand combat. Airi is good in fighting lately, and Claude couldn't even handle her. At last, Airi used her enhanced strength and punched him, sending him flying in the midair. Scared of what she'd done, Airi immediately cast a magic circle to catch him. Claude. Are you okay? Asked Airi worriedly as she rushed to Claude, who is holding his head. Here, I'm going to heal you. Using her Kai, she managed to heal wounds and diseases. She healed Claude until he's okay. As Airi looked up to Claude, she noticed that their faces are only an inch away. Because of this, she flustered again and faint. Claude smiled at her and carried the unconscious Airi back to the base. X, you must learn to control your magic because it is very strong. Lately, I noticed that you became proficient in using swords as your battle gear, also using your power of destruction and alchemy as your magic, said Vali as he talks to X. X looks very determined to get strong. All of the children were good in using magic, but he's the one who got stronger. This last 5 days, Hyoudou managed to train X, and as he observed, X became good and faster than Claude. Also, don't underestimate your enemies, X. We're currently investigating about the leader of fallen angels and exorcists. We still have no clue about his identity. As far as we know, this man has an unusual strength of power, maybe similar to you, said Vali seriously. X nodded at his statement. Alright, let's start. Vali and X started to position themselves in distance. X watched Vali carefully as he clashed his sword towards his. He closed his eyes and managed to avoid Vali's attack. He opened his eyes and clashed it towards Vali's. Their swords clashed and clashed until X used his power of destruction. Vali matched it with his divine power, but X's magic is too strong and it ate Vali's power. Gladly, Vali immediately went out of the place. X performed a red magic circle and there, black dragon aura appeared and blasted Vali. Vali used a force field to protect himself. Geez. That one is strong. He noticed that the sky turned red as X used his magic. Vali came out from his force field as the sky turned back to normal. He faces X as he's exhausted from the magic he used. Very well, X. When did you learn to use your magic circle and dragons appeared from it? He asked. I learned this when I trained with Airi the last 2 days. I accidentally used this from her. Gladly that she has this dragon aura too, but hers were nature-based, explained X and Vali nodded. X's pav. Wow. Our last training with them was intense. I'm glad that all of us achieved our magic and all of us got stronger. Hi X. Hero greeted me as I looked above the sky. Hey. So what's up? Well, it seems like Vritra and I are getting along since he told me of how to use my sacred gear properly, she said. That's good, you know. Speaking of sacred gears, Airi and I don't own any of them. Hero has Blaze Black Flare, Claude has Blade Blacksmith Thing, and Draco has Forbidden Baler of View. We only have our natural magic in us. As I'm going to speak, Claude come out and said, hey X. Your brother is here. How the hell did he find us? I trusted Airi that she didn't tell. I hope it's Kurenai, not Shin, not Zen, not even Merlin Freak. I came inside with Hero and to my relief, it's Kurenai, X. Good to see you in such a fine condition. Said my half-fallen angel brother, of course. I'm X Gremory whose body is strong as always and yeah I know. Stop proclaiming Scarlet Head and go over here with Airi, he said as I come over. He had a wooden box with him sealed with his own magic circle. What's in there? I said, I know you two don't have any sacred gears yet, so I decided to make ones for you too. My eyes were delighted as I heard it. What kind of a sacred gear is it? Airi asked. Airi, come here, he said as he get a golden arm cuff with purple gem in the middle. This is called the Gigantus Maiden Robe, similar to your mother's other sacred gear that Azazel gave her, the Downfall Dragon Spear, so why is it called a robe again? Well, it can also form a subspecies armor, unlike the Downfall Dragon Spear, which could create complete balance breaker, this can create counterbalance. The form of the armor is similar to Mom Roswas, he continued, its power source is the Golden Dragon King, Fafnir. It is like Vritra's who have 3 sacred gears and it acted as its power source, said Kurenai as he placed the sacred gear on Airi's arm. Now, it's permanent on your arm. You can use magic to make it invisible to one's eyes, said he. Also, your armor is called Gigantus Blessed Scalemail, but the scalemail is not like our father's. Kurenai finished. Thank you, big brother. She thanked. Kurenai nodded as he turned his attention to his younger brother. As for you, Scarlet Head. He exclaimed as he got a red sacred gear from the box. Uncle Hyoudou told me that you inherited Mom Ria's and Dad's power. So I made a sacred gear similar to Dad. This is called Boosted Gear Diabolos. Its power source is Drag. It can form complete scalemail and counterbalance like Dad's. He performed a magic seal on my left arm and I got confused. What are you doing? I'm trying to attach this on your lower arm. What the light shone brighter and it hurts. It's attaching on my lower arm as if it won't break. Erg. And done. The gear is now attached on my arm. What the hell have you done? Did you replace my arm into this X? It's useless if it is not attached. Alright. And there will be time that you need to sacrifice your left lower arm, said Kurenai as he got another gear. And what's that? I pointed. This. I heard from Hyoudou that you're a good swordsman, so I made this sword that has an alchemy in it. This is a type of crimson sword called Galatine 3, said Kurenai. Awesome. I exclaimed. Airi, X, those gears were artificial, but unlike those first artificial gears, those don't have any side effects, but you need to be careful when you're using it, said Kurenai. I better be back in Grigori. Mama Keno isn't angry at you anymore. Airi asked in concern. Well, she isn't mad anymore and she lets me work. I forgot to tell you that I'm working in Gregory during her day off. Now we know, Airi and I said both. I forgot to tell you, Mama Keno and Mama Asia know your whereabouts, but don't worry, they didn't tell them. I'm off now. And he disappeared. I'm glad that we have our own sacred gears even though it's artificially made. X and Hiro went home together and I think they cut classes again. Wow, I can't believe that my brother is falling in love with her. Because of her attitude, my brother became a better man, but I think he still don't want to go home. I want to go home where I could stay or feel better, but X will consider me as a traitor. The sun is setting where the sky is purplish orange in color. I am heading to the base alone for Draco went home and so is Claude. I sighed when I look above until, Airi. I jumped in fright when a voice called my name. I turned around only to see Mom Asia and Dad. Oh no, I'm so dead. Well, I have no choice but to talk to them. What? So you really reformed the orc? Asked Dad as if he's going to freak out. We are sitting on a bench near a riverside on a park. I'm not supposed to tell you for X will hate me, I said as I clutched to my skirt with my face looking down. I felt that my mom hold my hand and I look up to her, only to see that she's smiling. Airi, your brother wouldn't be mad at you. I'm sure he'll understand for he's older than you. How is he? She said and at the same time asked, he's totally fine. He's taking his training seriously and he's an expert in using swords. I said, wow, I think X really changed, right dear? Said Dad as Mom nodded. How about you? He asked, well, I can use nature, summoning and transportation magic. Mr. Volley said that I'm good in hand-to-hand combat which I don't give an actual credit, I said shyly. Combat, nobody would expect that a sweet girl like you can do martial arts. Said Dad. I never expected my parents would be proud for us too. By the way, is Tina and Yuki alright? I want to talk to Tina at school always, but X always keeps me from them. I shrugged. Don't worry, they're okay now. Replied Dad. I sighed in relief when I heard it from them. Oh. It's getting late. I have to go now, I said as I got up from the bench. Come on, we'll walk with you, said but I shook my head. No, I'm fine. I can do it as if we don't know where you two are staying. You're at the base when Akeno figured it out, said my mom giggling. Geez. I forgot that they were part of the club back then, and they probably know where we are staying. Alright, you won, I said. As we walk, I noticed that the two of them are out here, just the two of them. What are you two doing outside anyway? Well, we were just having a walk until we saw you, said Mom blushing. I laughed because of that. X's Pav. Is Airi not home yet? It's 7 o'clock in the evening, I asked Hiro as we got home. Well, I think so. Her things aren't already here, said Hiro when the bell from the door rang, revealing Airi who had got home late. Hi guys. She said smiling. What's with her? I thought when she entered our room. Maybe Claude did something nice for her this day. The two of them are getting close lately, after our training. Airi's Pav. Saturday in the morning, today I went out of the base and go to the garden. Wow, the garden is blooming every day. Daisies and roses are very pretty when blooming or butterflies are sipping their nectars. Leaves awaken, stems risen, I chanted, and the plants started to grow and some started to bloom, such as flowers. Gardening is a perfect way to enhance my nature magic. When I finished, I heard a loud stomp coming from the forest. I got terrified because of that for it sounded like a dragon. I go back inside our club where the others also heard it. Tell me you heard it too, right, Airi? X asked as he swayed his left arm, readying his sacred gear. Don't get excited in using your sacred gear, X. You know it's still unstable and you need to master it, scolded Uncle Hyoudou to my brother. Oh man. This sucks. He exclaimed as he swayed it back, returning into his normal arm. Come on, let's check where the sound comes from. Said X and the four of them run to the door, leaving Uncle Hyoudou and I inside. This is not good. It could be a dragon or maybe not, I said as I clenched my fist against my chest. Do you think, Fafnir? I asked while I look at the glowing purple orb on my arm. I also think that it is a lost dragon, Ms. Airi, he replied. They didn't encounter some real dragons, right? I asked to Uncle Hyoudou as he shook his head. We need to find them as soon as possible, said Uncle Hyoudou. X's Pav. This mission is sort of dragon hunting thing, right? Draco asked shaking. We are very fast and we didn't even notice that we went into the deepest part of the forest. I'm sure that this is going to be fun for our first mission. I'm not very attached to dragons so I don't care if we slain them. X, this is very dangerous. Draco whispered, you better come back to Airi. Thought that I could trust her. I said. Lately, I found out that Airi met up with Dad and Mom Asia. Oh I really hate him so much. Thanks to Hiro when she got some Airi sweat, she showed me about what happened. X, don't get mad at her, she's still your sister. Said Hiro. Also, she's younger than you and she missed her parents. You and Airi have different personalities and don't you dare hurt her, Hiro scolded. I got quiet by that time. Suddenly, we saw a figure that is 30 feet tall I think and it is looking at us. Look out. Draco exclaimed as it breathed green fire. Luckily we immediately avoided it. I think it's time to use my sacred gear, boosted gear. Diabolos. I said as I swayed my left arm, revealing my red dragon arm, Galatine 3. I summoned my second sacred gear, which is my signature sword, Blade Blacksmith. Claude summoned his sword as Hero released water energy from her hands. Only, Draco hid behind a tree as the three of us fought the dragon, Water Serpent. Finally, Hero used her serpent to fight the dragon. Her water serpent and the dragon fight, but Hero's serpent is defeated by the dragon. After that, it roared loudly. I felt that my eardrums are going to explode. Water shield. Hero chanted as a shield surrounded us. Airi's pav. Where did they go, Lily? I asked as we searched for the four of them. Lily flew all the way to south and leads us to a darker part of the forest. Uncle, what is this place? It looks scary, I whispered. This is the deep part of the forest, so you better be careful, said Uncle Hyoudou. Take this, you bastard. Wait, isn't that X? I heard his voice towards the direction to where Lily's going. Come on. Ordered Uncle Hyoudou, and we ran to that direction. As we run, we saw Draco hiding behind a tree. Draco. I called, Airi. I'm glad that you're here. He said, what's going on? I know you wouldn't believe me, but they are fighting a dragon, a western dragon. As I observed, it is color purple that breathed green flame. It looks uncontrollable, said Draco shaking. When I tamed Lily, I looked at her in the eye, that's it. But I don't know if I can control her, I said. I ran to the direction where they fought. Unfortunately, the dragon got down where I almost died by going under its abdomen. I used a transportation magic to teleport on its face. Airi, how did you? X asked. I turned around, only to see the dragon in anger. Whoa. Easy, please. Calm down, big fella, I said as I raised my hands towards the dragon. The dragon seemed to calm down, but suddenly, it disappeared out of nowhere. We could have killed it. Thanks to you, Airi, that our first mission gone wrong. Shouted X angrily at me. I never see him do this to me, but I only help you. I was cut off when X yelled at me. Help? What kind of help? Now tell me, Airi, you only let the dragon get away because of your taming abilities or whatever. Just don't do that again, understand? I can't believe he did it. I tried to hold my tears from drifting on my face. Because of that, I run away from the base back to the forest. Airi. Hero called, but I didn't look back. X's pav. Why did you do that to her? It's not right to yell your sister that way. Hero scolded, but I didn't listen. X, even though your sister met up with your father, it doesn't mean that you should treat her like that, she continued. Then I realized that what if something's happened to her? Mom Asia will get worried about her when she's gone. I went out of the base to look for her. Damn it. What have I done? I promised that I'll protect her, and now I scared her away. Airi's pav. I run until I reach the deepest part of the forest. I don't care if I go somewhere. I just have to go further from the base so they won't find me. I kept running until. I fell into a deep opening when I stepped on a soft land at the forest. Third person's pav. While Airi fell into the hole, at Hyoudou residence, Asia suddenly jolted up from their bed where Issei and her fellow wives sleep. Airi. She exclaimed. She looked around the room only to realize that she's only dreaming. They are all asleep and she is on Issei's left side. She sighed and go back to sleep. Airi's pav. My vision is blurred when I woke up from what happened. I felt my body lying on a stony ground as I touched it. When my vision got clear, I tried to sit up and observe the surroundings. The surroundings is like a temple. Old bricks were used to build this place, and some torches with no fire surround the area. The only light that I can see is from above where I fell. Hello? I called, but I received no answer. Suddenly, I can feel smoke or huff from behind. I turned my head behind me, only to find out that there are golden eyes staring wide awake at me. I moved back a little as it gets closer. It started to reveal its face, and now, the whole head. Don't be afraid, child, I'm not going to hurt you, said the creature. As I scanned her, she was the dragon that they fought earlier. Wow, she's like Fafnir who could talk. I'm sorry if I scared you, she said. No, it's okay. May I ask your name? My name is Roma, I'm a western dragon who got cursed by a witch a long time ago, she said. I'm Airi. What kind of a dragon are you? I asked. I'm a forest dragon. Forest dragons can hardly tame by anyone. You're the first one who tamed me, she said. For real? By the way, I'm sorry about what happened to you earlier. I should have been there so you won't get hurt. I apologized. It's not your fault, Airi, said the Roma. I want you to know my buddies, said I as I summoned Lily and I talked to Fafnir. Fafnir? Are you there? The gem on my skin started to blink, meaning that he's talking. Hello, Ms. Airi. Wait, where are we right now? Well, I kinda ran away and I fell in the hole, I said. Who is that beside you? Even though I'm inside your longinus, I can still sense it, he said, and I giggled about that. Fafnir, this is Roma. She's a forest dragon, said I as I showed him Roma, forest dragon. Such a rare species of western dragon, I bet, said Fafnir as my light blinked. Oh. And this is Lily, my familiar and also my buddy. She is a sprite dragon, said I, and suddenly, Roma glowed green and said, you are a kind maiden, Ms. Airi. I will enter your magical spirit so you could summon me in case of trouble. After she said it, she disappeared and I found myself back on the forest, not in the hole but beside a tree. So Roma is a part of my summoning magic now. What could happen in case trouble approach us? Airi. Someone called me. I turned around and it is X, running towards me. He suddenly hugged me, saying sorry and I forgive him. Third person's POV. If the source of evil is a primordial being, could it possibly stronger than us? Asked Airi as Claude and her is lying down on the grass, thinking of what does the leader of all evil looks like, or how powerful is it? Well, I don't know, but I think that he is a godlike creature, because he controlled the fallen angels and the exorcists' minds, right? Suggested Claude. You have a point. It may be a descendant of a devil. Stray devil, you saying? Asked Claude to Airi's statements. Also, our parents fought so many devils, their fellow devils and evil gods such as Riser, Cow, Loki. Airi stopped when she said the name of Loki. Is there a problem, Airi? Asked Claude as he looked at his best friend's serious face. Loki is a god based from Norse myths, right? He could trick anyone and bomb. Airi is always good when it comes to fantasy and mythology. She's the second person on their family to have a lot of knowledge in magic, but Helmwich is the first since she's a daughter of a Valkyrie and a teacher of magic. She glanced out the front yard, where she could see Hero and X are sparring at each other. Draco is sitting under a tree, stopping the leaves from falling using his sacred gear. She grabbed a book with red hardcover from the wooden bookshelf until one book with now a green hardcover fell. She noticed that the book fell and she got it, Nature Magic. She read it, the title in front. She already read this before so she put it back on the bookshelf. As she was about to open the book, a silver magic circle appeared behind her, revealing Vali had returned from his travel on Kyoto. Hi Mr. Vali. Airi greeted. Reading again? Such a bookish child, Vali laughed at her, your brother is out there training. He's becoming an expert when it comes to swordsmanship, Vali said as they look outside, seeing X fighting Hero with his sacred gear. Yeah. He's very determined. But I'm sad that he still didn't make up with Dad yet, said Airi as her beautiful emerald eyes looked outside. So how's the dragon? Is she okay now? Asked Vali. Airi already told them to not kill the dragon, Roma, because she's endangered and kind for Airi had tamed her kindly like she did to Lily, a sprite dragon. Now she has 3 dragons, Fafnir the golden dragon king, Lily the sprite dragon, and Roma the western forest dragon. She's fine, Mr. Vali. There's nothing to worry about, said Airi smiling. Suddenly, a crimson-colored magic circle appeared inside the base, releasing a powerful energy. It revealed to be Ria's Gremory and Issei Hyoudou as the light had gone. Airi, on the other hand, stepped back as she saw her mom Rias is there. Hi, Mom. Good to see you, she said with a nervous smile. There's nothing to worry about, dear. We have news to bring here, said Rias. But, a loud shot coming from the door sounds as X pushes the door hardly without knocking. He is a bit surprised to see his mother and father inside. Now, here's where you hide, young man, said Rias as she shook her head. Rias, Issei, Vali, along with the new members of Occult Club, talked about the leader of the manipulation of the fallen angels. Issei revealed that it is all because of Loki, a Norse god who had escaped from Underworld last month. It is unexpected for seal that was put on him destroyed as he managed to do so. No way. Now what are we going to do? Loki is stronger than us. There's no way we could beat him, said Draco worriedly as he looked at his friends. Yes, it's true that they're not strong enough, they haven't competed in any raiding games yet. I can't use my father's sacred gear though. I think I only inherited Mom's water magic, said Hero sadly. But X, with full of determination, spoke up in confidence as he fist bumped the air. What are you all talking about? What about our trainings that we took seriously only to prove to our parents and also to protect our town from those strangers? Well, duh you guys. We need to take this seriously, we should be brave for the upcoming threats that'll going to happen any moment from now, said X, and the people inside got surprised because of his sudden action. Everyone looked at him in awe, and this make his peerage smile at him. You know, I agreed with X. What is the purpose of our hard work if we wouldn't fight? We can do this, together, said Airi, agreeing at her brother's statements. Issei and Rias stood up from their seats as Issei asked, so, this is the new Occult Research Club. The 5 members stood up and shouted, yes. What? You mean we need to return to our home immediately? Asked Airi as she closes the book she's reading. Rias and Issei decided that they should take the siblings home. They are staying at the base for too long, and Asia is worried about them. X, on the corner of the room, is mumbling something. He hates it when someone is telling him to go home now, go home immediately. He don't like the persons who live there, especially Mordred, whom he now considered as a mortal enemy, more like a kiddie rivalry. X is considered as an immature one, rather a role model for Airi acts more mature than him, though his sister gets afraid easily. On the other hand, Airi is happy that she's going to see her little sisters again. Whenever she caught a glimpse of them at school, X would always drag her away from them, losing her confidence at least to say hi or hello to them. Also, she's going to see her mother again. Yes, Airi. You must be safe, for Loki is our enemy and he might bring his army here in no time. As long as you two are back home, you will be okay because your other siblings are there, said Riaz, but still, X is unconvinced. Riaz sighed and went to her son's side. Hey. I know you want to stay here, but you have to. X became furious as he punched at wall beside him. He didn't know why, but his parents make him angry. His hatred for them is still inside his heart, especially to his father who done nothing but to travel and travel and travel and travel. How he would appreciate some sort of parents like that. His father also have many wives. He couldn't help himself but to look at them angrily. Look, he mumbled as he pushed his mother's hand off his shoulder, making Ria's jaw dropped and her blue eyes widened. I already accepted that you can help us in hunting that tricky god, and now you want us to go home? He said in a grim tone. His blue eyes met his father's as he looked up to him. What kind of parents are you? He whispered as he walked away. Airi tried to call him, but still, he didn't listen and continued to walk out. He sat on the entrance, looking at the stars. He didn't seem to notice the tears are flowing down on his face, still wearing the grim expression. Why does everyone like his father or his mother? He didn't save the world or like that, and he always abandoned his family like they are things from junkyard. I know how you feel, X. X turned his head on his side, now looking at Hiro, who is also looking at the stars. X, you are lucky to have parents like them. You must return home now. You told me before that you have siblings waiting for you, right? Said Hiro as she looked down on the green grass. If you want me to go home, why won't you go back to your family either? Asked X coldly. Hiro shrieked at his question. She didn't want to answer it, for her past was really hard. Hiro looked it straight into his eyes as he wore a grim expression. You are lucky that you have siblings who like your attitude, unlike me, she said seriously. My mother's family didn't like me, for I was like a half-water demon and half-black dragon outcast. Back when I was younger, I tried to join my cousin's peerage, but they don't like me and always pushed me away. So when I turned 13, I decided to run away and never go back. I don't know what were my parents doing now, she said. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Why you didn't told your story before? We should make up. X was cut off. There's no need for that and I'm okay now. I could live independently and I'm happy on my life. She said happily. X suddenly looked at her with amusement. Hiro's right, he and Airi are lucky cause, even though they have a large family, they were happy, and messing up is part of it. He hugged Hiro suddenly, that make the girl blushed, and said, thank you for everything, Hiro. You were right, he said, and went to his parents. Just to make things fast, we must use transportation magic, right Airi? Said X as he was tired packing his things. Airi is now anxious and don't know what to do, since she's still nervous in using her magic. X couldn't help himself but giggled to his sister's reaction. Wait. I have an idea, said Airi as she made her way to their rooms. Base's room, door. Air of night, nightingales flock their wings, return thy sky into a finer chamber, she chanted as white magic circle formed on the doorknob. She opened it quickly, revealing their room on their home. Wow. This is epic, Airi. X exclaimed as he hurried himself into the room, only to trip on his own baseball bat. Oh, man. He exclaimed. Airi, Riaz, and Issei stepped in the door as the blonde girl closed the door behind her and chanted another incantation, undo the spell, put things back to normal. She opened it again, revealing the outside of their room near the staircase. The two teenagers left their things inside their room as they followed their parents outside. Airi missed this place. It was like decades since she came back here. Airi. X. She turned around to see her mother, Asia, running to them and hugged the two. She sighed in relief as the teenagers are okay. Then followed by Shirayuki, Kurobara, who ran to X, making him full again. Robertina walked on Airi's side, hugging her older sister. I'm glad you're okay, Airi whispered. Of course. Princesses and phoenixes are strong enough to handle things easily. Tina said happily as she showed Airi a thumbs up. Suddenly, Kurenai appeared in front of them smirking in amusement. Looks like the two runaway are back again, he said. Hi Kurenai. Airi and X exclaimed. Well, this is their comeback as they are both back into the place again with their family that could protect them. Sunshine rises brightly as people say their hi and hello to each other. The students surely go to school daily wearing their formal uniforms and with their school bags hanging on their bags. Life is always circling around our daily activities or hobbies. The sky seems happy for its blue color, matching the ocean waves where fishes and other aquatic creatures swim and enjoy the ocean. Everything is put back to normal for Issei's children as he can spend some time with them, but he's confused about whose he's going to deal it, for he had 11 children. But he always plays with his younger daughters, the Nekomata sisters. Their color is like a yin-yang, black and white, sun and rain. Sometimes, Helmwich kept asking him questions about magic, war, etc. He also helped Kurenai with his researches, although he is not literally good with it. But for X, his crimson-haired son seems to keep his distance towards him as he still acts cold towards him and Rias, also to Airi. Airi came back into her introverted personality as she does not talk too much and always kept herself reading in her room. But she's happy that she's finally home, but sad when X doesn't talk too much. He is cold, not like his old personality. She heard a knock on her door and she excitedly opens it, expecting it will be X. But it is only Mordred. "Hi, bro. What do you want?" she asked shyly, with a bit disappointment as her older brother held his scepter. "Can I talk to you, please?" he said. "I heard that you can now perform magic, is that it?" he asked as they walked on the sidewalk, not minding the other person staring or mumbling about Mordred's wizard hat. "Ah, yes. But not the magic you know. I could only do nature and transportation magic. Not like the magic you perform where you could just say the magic words and voila. It's there," she said shyly. "That's awesome. I mean, we never talked like this before as I only talked to Ernestine, but this time, she called me annoying," said Mordred as he rolled his eyes. Airi laughed at his reaction. She never knew that Mordred has also a kind personality, even though he had deep hatred with his father, but soon faded, unlike X. "You know. I thought are scary, but you are kind bro. You're just like Shin and Zen when you act comically," exclaimed Airi. "Speaking of the devil, here they are," said Mordred as Shin and Zen approached them, running and carrying 2 boxes. "Seems like Merlin and Nerd is getting along," teased Zen as his hands shake with his heavy box. "Nice try, Zen. Let me help you with that," offered Mordred. Suddenly, the blue yet happy sky turns gray as the wind rushed fast and its breeze get cold, as if it was winter. Thunder grumbled as the lightning clicked, an electrifying sight, scaring some little children on the road, tightening their hold to their parents. The 4 siblings sensed something and looked to the sky. Moments later, a magic circle appeared on the sky, but it had fireballs coming downwards to the town. Some people looked at it while some ran for their lives. "This is end," shouted the woman who carried some bags but left it immediately as she ran. "The fireballs are coming," and landed, leaving a large explosion. Somewhere, Gasper and Draco saw this from their home and another one coming on their place. "Freeze!" shouted the 2 dampers as the fireball froze, almost close to their place. "What's going on here?" asked Draco as his father looked up, seeing the magic circle. "Draco? Call your mother, we must leave this place now." Draco did as what his father told him. After that, Gasp teleported his family at the Hyoudou residence, leaving their place got burned down from the fireball as their spell undid, making the fireballs landed and explode. Meanwhile, Mordred, Airi, Shin, and Zen managed to survive the explosion as the 2 magician siblings used magic shield to protect them and some other people. After that, Mordred and Airi undid their magical barrier, but only to find that some buildings had been destroyed in half like an earthquake happened. "I'm going to check the others. You guys coming?" asked Mordred as he changed his outfit into a wizard's one, summoning his broomstick. "We better take Airi with us. But the problem is, you can't fly, right I?" Zen asked as he summoned his sacred gear, Durandal IV, which is similar to his mother's sword, taking an appearance of a large sword. "Who wants to ride a dragon?" asked Airi innocently as she changed her clothes into her fighting one. It consists of a purple, sleeveless dress with a dragon belt on the waist, donned with black leggings and black boots. She also wears a short black cloak with bow and arrow on her shoulder. On her right lower arm, she wore her sacred gear. "What do you mean dragon? Lily, you mean? She's so tiny," Shin exclaimed. For the very first time, Airi smirked at her older brother. "Whoa. I didn't know that you have a pet dragon as big as this," Shin almost shouted as he, Airi and Zen rode on Ruma's back, while Mordred rode on his broomstick, looking for some survivors. "Eyes, I'm going over there. We need to contact our siblings, especially X." "Airi, can you?" said Mordred as her younger sister nodded. In fact, they didn't where X went and what he's doing. Maybe he is staying at the base again, but he didn't mind what's going on. This is what Rias was trying to say. An attack from a strong enemy came into the town, damaging several establishments and some signs of casualties. Is this the attack that came from the Norse god, Loki? Guo town was previously attacked by fallen angels and exorcists by killing students or other innocent people. Ria's Gremory found out that their enemy is Loki, the god of mischief who caused several crimes on their world. He took revenge by setting the world in chaos. He got out from the underworld and planned his revenge to the devils, especially to Issei's peerage to the point that he is willing to kill their children. We must do something. Loki had started sending fireballs through magic circle. We can't let everyone die, Issei, especially our family, said Gasper to Issei while they're meeting in a certain room. Kurenai, Helmwich, Ernestine, Riaz, Roswis, Asia, Zenobia, Akeno, and Kaneko are present also. I think we need to fight against him. There's no other way to escape this problem, a huge problem. If we are fated to do these, then we must face it, Issei said. We can't let Loki get his hands to the kids, especially the 5 whom Vali had trained earlier. They are not ready yet, Riaz suggested. But that's the purpose of their training. Doesn't it make sense to you? Kurenai said angrily, as if he is ready to strike his stepmother with his holy lightning. Kurenai, stop that. Don't show your attitude in this kind of situation. The half-fallen angel and half-devil scolded at her son. Kurenai, please. We must find Airi stopped as everyone felt windy inside the room. Unforeseen, a purple magic circle appeared on the corner, revealing the wizardry son riding on his broomstick. The wind stopped as the Mordred undid his magic circle using his magical staff. Whoa. You must try that. Airi and I worked for it while they rode on the dragon. By the way, have you ever wondered where Crimson Head went? I mean, X, said Mordred as he removed his wizard hat and dusting it off. What? You mean you went outside? It is pretty dangerous there, LeFay said as she appeared out of nowhere. Yeah, they are Airi, Zen, and Shin, riding on a dragon up on the sky, said Mordred as he scratched his head. You gotta be kidding. Where on earth did they find a dragon? Zenobia suddenly asked as she heard the church trio's names. Draco is listening to their conversation all the time, only to feel compassion to help mortals. Occult Research Club promised that they will never let innocent people to get in danger because of them devils. He walked away as soon to be followed by a person who grabbed his arm. Robertina. What are you doing? Well, I heard from afar that our town, soon as the world is in danger. I'm scared so that I want to help. Can I come with you? It is dangerous, Tina. I need to find my clubmates, also my friends. I think this is the time to die for the people we love. This is the time to accomplish our tasks. I want to go with you. I have to find my siblings too, said Robertina as her blue eyes started to form tears. Hey. Don't worry. At least, you are still a member of the Phoenix clan, right? Can you get some help? Draco said as he smirked slightly. I know now. Sure, I'll try to go to my uncle as soon as possible. You can count on me. Yes, I will. Draco said as he went out of the Hyoudu's residence while a magic circle appeared on his right ear. Mind if I call for help? It is Claude, who seemed fighting alongside his parents. Kibba. Where are you? So many questions. I'm here calling for help. We need to call the others also. There are so many stray demons here. Oh no. Maybe stray demons. I'm coming. Where's Airi? X. Hero. Probably you can see Airi riding on a dragon. At this point, enemies are rising from darkness as they continue to creep around the land of mortals. Would the Occult Research Club defeat them in no time? End. So how was this story? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this story with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.